Hi everyone, it's Evan. Hey, I want to talk with you a little bit about Chapter 9. I'm done with your discussions and assignments so you can see the feedback in Blackboard in there. Remember how to click on it. You might have to click on the comments button. And in the discussion part itself, it's embedded somewhere, and you can see on your discussion board if it pops up in bold if there's a new one. So specifically, I wanted to point your attention on pages 278, 279, especially that chart on 279, about some effective teaching strategies, because we had great discussions this week about is teaching a science or an art. I really appreciated the work you all went to and putting great detail in there and responding to one another's posts and really making this class come alive. Thank you. So on this chart, table 9.1, if you want to pause the video and grab your book or listen along, there are some wonderful things in here that are both science and art, because they have been researched, they've been tried, and through observations, as one of you said, have been measured. And then the art is, after lots of practice, just knowing when to use them. And sometimes we call that intuition, but I really think that comes from experience, and then, on a gut level, we just start to know what works without even thinking about it, like brushing your teeth or riding a bike. So I want to talk with you about giving quality feedback, that second one there. Look what the definition is, and then the right-hand column talks about effective uses for it. And it says, teachers expand learning and understanding. That is how children come to solve a problem, rather than focusing only on the correct answer or end product. So as we're giving quality feedback, that's not just saying, yep, well done, or nice job. That's part of it, because you want some feedback. But it's also saying, and then what happens if you do this? So asking a question after a response. So extending that learning further. And the quicker we can give feedback, the better. That's why in my classes I like to give the feedback for your discussions and assignments the next day, right after it's due, so that it's somewhat fresh for you, though many of you may have already done your work a week ahead. So let's see. Giving cues, hints, offering assistance. That's like saying, well, what if you turned your hand this way? Would the blocks fit better? Or what would happen if you mix some more colors in there? Or what would happen if, and then fill in the blank. Using words like that. Questioning. We talk a lot about open-ended questions and the purpose of those, not just the knowledge level questions. And I love this next one, co-constructing. We've talked about in early childhood education the constructivist model, where children are doing hands-on learning. But this co-constructing is so powerful, because it's all about the teacher being a partner with the child and constructing the knowledge together with that appropriate support that comes from the knowledge that the adult has for the child. Direct or explicit instruction, that has a place. I remember the other day on one of my on-campus classes, a student asked me a question about something, and I started, as they put it, beating around the bush. And sometimes they just want the answer, and sometimes that's appropriate. Sometimes it's good to let our students explore, young and old, but sometimes we just need some information, and that's okay too. And then, of course, scaffolding, we talk a lot about that when we talk about ZPD, the zone of proximal development. And you can picture it like this. In this area here is the learning. If it's before that, it's too easy. If it's after that, it's too hard. And we call the zone of frustrational development. So sometimes people call this the zone of actual development, not proximal development. ZAD, you'll hear it called too. So this is important in scaffolding. You think of a building when it's being built, and they put all those ladders up along the side, and as they get taller, they put more ladders. That's what we're doing for our students when we're scaffolding with them. They know this amount of knowledge, and they're ready for this. So what can we do to help them get up there? As they're building a tower, sometimes you may want to pretend this is my tower, and they're building blocks, and so you may want to hold your hand a little bit, not a lot. Sometimes, here's where the art and science comes in. Sometimes it's important to let that fall so they feel what that feels like. We don't want to sanitize their world so much that everything is successful. But we also don't want it to be so frustrating that they give up on building that tower. So sometimes you might just want to give it a little tap, as it's getting taller, and suggest maybe you want 2 blocks side by side as you're building your tower. So art and science. Now, all right, thank you all. Chapter 9 was very interesting. Talk to you later.